Hey, Rick McBride here with your Property Masters and 5 minutes of free time.
So guess what?
Brad Realty Group. What?
This is the 100th broadcast.
Oh wow, the 100th. Rick McBride here with the 100th broadcast of 5 minutes of free time. It may not be the 100th broadcast of 5 minutes of free time. This is our broadcast on our page. I don't know, but it's our 100th broadcast, and that's pretty cool. All right. So today we're going to talk about prices up over 20% and inventories at all-time lows. I ran a report from the MLS. It's based on the West Volusia Association of Realtors information. I'd heard a lot of talk about inventories being at all-time lows on CNBC and all over the place for that matter. And we know that prices are up double digits. That we're pretty close to that. That's pretty common knowledge. We see that every day. But sometimes it's good to take a look at market stats and just see if our hunch is right. And this hunch is absolutely right. The following statistics again come from the MLS and are pulled from the West Volusia Association member sales. The first thing to notice is that volume has stayed pretty steady. You would think that volume is up, but volume it can't go up if inventories are down. So volume has stayed pretty steady, but it's declined a little bit over the last few months. For instance, but now it's only up 1.5%. So the volume, the actual sales per year, is down a little bit. Last year at this time, there had been 1,137 sales. Today, there's 1,154. So up 1.5%. It's certainly not insignificant, but you would expect more with so much demand. So we have to ask ourselves, how can volume growth not be higher with demand so high? And the answer is clearly lower inventories. There's nothing to sell, volume can't go up. Slow selling volume is not necessarily a reflection of slowing demand though, but more an indicator of lack of supply in this situation. For the month supply, one of the most widely accepted statistics, if you've ever listened to me talk, you know this is the most important statistic that we look at, is month supply on the market. Taking the total number of homes available and dividing by in a given price range and dividing that number by the number sold in that price range. So for instance, if 10 homes for sale and were for sale and one home had sold in the last month, you could assume there's 10 months supply on the market at that time. 6 months supply is considered equilibrium, meaning that there's enough supply to meet the demand. If less than 6 months supply is there, you can assume that prices are headed up. If there's more than 6 months supply, you can typically assume the prices are headed down. Back during the crash, there was over 20 months supply of property on the market. At one point I saw 24 months supply, 2 years, 2.5 years worth of supply on the market. Well, we've cleared all that out, and today there is 2.2 months supply on the market. Just 2 months. That's the lowest I have ever seen that number. And I'm willing to bet it's probably a record. There's simply nothing for sale. Even when you look at the year-to-date snapshot of month supply, which usually is a higher number, it only jumps to 2.5. The demand is off the charts. The only price range with 6 months or more supply of all the price range, 0 to infinity, is the $400,000 to $499,000 price range. Everything under $400,000 has limited supply. Everything over $500,000 has limited supply. And that's only 6.5. So it's more of a statistical anomaly than say, hey, this particular price range has a ton of inventory. So that means there's no supply at any price range. Usually the upper ranges have double-digit numbers because there's just not as many sales in those price ranges. First-time home buyers don't buy in that price range, so your market is not nearly as large, the number of buyers. The other thing is that number, the bigger number, has been creeping up. It was at 200,000, now it's at 300,000, now it's over 400,000 to find that bigger number. That's pretty crazy. And finally, year over year, in the month of April, the average sale price is up over 20%. Average sale price in April of 2016 was $158,890, and the average sale price in April of 2017 is $191,618. Compare that to the prior years, and you can see that the trend is up. In April 2014, it was 121. April 2015, 136. April 2016, 158. And April 2017, 191. Obviously, we can't sustain these numbers, but it's going to be interesting to watch them and see what happens. There's never been a better time to sell, ever. If you want to get top dollar for your property or business, call or text us today at 386-866-1007. We are happy to help you get top dollar